Controversial housing levy could well be headed to new legal headwinds as the Law Society of Kenya mounts a constitutional challenge against the levy. In a petition filed at the High Court today, the LSK has likened the housing levy to legalized theft and forced slavery. The petition filed under a certificate of urgency says the mandatory affordable housing tax threatens the social economic interests of Kenyans and wants the courts to quash it. Stephen reports.
In a petition that adds to the pile of legal challenges against the contentious Finance Act 2023, the Law Society of Kenya LSK says the housing levy is unconstitutional and describes the entire Finance Act as a mockery of the Constitution and particularly provisions on public participation. LSK wants the court to prohibit the government from effecting the new Finance Act as announced Thursday by the Kenya Revenue Authority. In the petition, the LSK wants the court to stop what it described as the unconstitutional, unlawful and unreasonable Finance Act 2023 that introduced mandatory affordable housing levy. LSK argues that the implementation of Section 84 of the Finance Act 2023 threatens the social economic interest of Kenyans against the principle of social justice. LSK further says the power to tax is very delicate, vulnerable to abuse by those in authority. Therefore, the Constitution imputes safeguards to protect against such abuse. According to the Law Society of Kenya, there exists no rationale as to why the government will force its citizens to contribute to a mandatory scheme in a country where a majority of its citizens are already grappling with harsh economic times due to the existence of multiple layers of taxes.
We have seen the notice that has come from the Ministry of Lands indicating that the fees would be backdated to the 1st of July. We find that as an act of impunity because from the 1st of July, there were court orders that stopped the implementation of the fund.
LSK further advised that as the scheme targets persons in the informal sector, there is no purpose of taxing those in the formal sector to cater for the needs of the informal sector. The government ought to have made the scheme voluntary, with the option of the target population being made to contribute to the scheme. On Thursday, the Kenya Revenue Authority KRA published the new taxes affecting the Finance Act. KRA further told Kenyans that the housing levy will be backdated to July to mean that the next deduction will be double. But LSK says it is unclear where this money will be remitted or the authority that is responsible for the collection of this money. Section 84 only provides for remittance of the housing levy by both employer and employee, but there is no body that has been charged with the administration of this levy. The Court of Appeal had last week lifted the High Court freeze order, paving the way for the implementation of the Act. Stephen Letos.